Hello and welcome to Froggity Frog Crochet and this stitch guide on how to crochet the spiked V-stitch. So this is a really pretty take on the V-stitch using spikes that then interlock together as you go up the rows. So to start this stitch, you're going to need a foundation chain in multiples of 5 plus 1 for your turning chain. So I've marked the first chain for my hook because I want the turning chain to count as the first stitch of the row. And then to start the spiked V-stitch, I'm going to make a single crochet in the third chain from my hook. And then make a single crochet in each stitch across. So this is a single crochet based stitch. And before we can start making our spiked V's, we need to do a couple of setup rows of single crochet. Grab some more yarn. So row 1, we're just going to single crochet in every stitch across. And just get to the end here. Last one. Okay, so row 1, all single crochet. So then we're going to turn, chain 1, and make a single crochet in the first stitch. So this is your first stitch of the row. So just pop a stitch marker in there. And row 2 is again just a row of single crochet in every stitch. Okay, so this will be the last of our setup rows before we can start actually making our spiked V's. So we'll just get all those single crochet made. Let's try that again. So the spiked V is a very simple stitch to make. You just got to get your stitch placement right in row 3, and then after that it becomes much more intuitive. My last couple. So single crochet there, and then single crochet into the turning chain of the row below. And turn. Okay. So row 3. We turn, chain 1, make a single crochet in the first stitch. So now we're going to get started with our spiked V's. Okay, so our V's are going to be made 2 rows below and 2 stitches across. So this stitch here is going to be where our spiked V sits in front of. It's going to be made in the space 2 stitches below the next one. So 3 stitches in. It's easier to count your placement if you go from the bottom. Okay, so row 3 is tricky, but only because you need to be careful where you place your stitches. So 1, 2, 3, there's the space for my V. Insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. We want to pull it up to the height of that first single crochet of the row, and it's going to go diagonally. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Okay, so that V sits in front of that stitch there. So in the next stitch here, we're going to make a single crochet. Our next spiked V, our diagonal spike stitch, sits in front of this stitch, and we make it in the same space as we did the last one. So it's a single crochet spiked stitch, so don't yarn over, into the same space you just worked into, yarn over, pull up that loop nice and high so it's the same height as the single crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And that's your spiked V stitch. Those 2 diagonal spike stitches create the stitch. Okay, so our next placement. Our spiked V sits in front of this stitch. Our next spiked V sits in front of this stitch, but we work below this stitch 2 rows below. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You're always going to be counting 3 stitches between each V. 1, 2, 3, into that 3rd space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Okay. So the spiked V sits in front of this stitch, and we single crochet in the next. And that single crochet will be in line with where you placed your V 2 rows below. And if you get your spike just crossing over there, just pop a nail down the middle and it will unfold. And then we make another spiked V, still working in that chain space, not chain space, but in the space 2 rows below. Make another spike to finish your spiked V. This is when you're going to get a row of these spike V's. Okay, right. So there's where we did the last one. 1, 2, 3. Our next spike V goes into there. So you have no stitches in between your spikes. We're just going to go straight into the next one. 1, 2. So the spike is sitting in front of this stitch. Single crochet into this one, which is in line with where your spike has been placed. And then finish it with another spike in the same space. And you just continue this across the row. 1, 2, 3. That's where my spike goes. Make a single crochet in the next stitch, which is in line with where the V was, and then finish the spiked V with that second stitch be made in the same place. Okay, and then that brings me to the last stitch of the row. So there's my single crochet in between the 2 spikes. The last spike sits in front of that stitch. And then the last stitch of the row, I'm just going to make a single crochet. And that's what you should have. Okay, a row of spiked V's. So row 3 can be tricky, but if you keep track of where your stitches are, you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so that's row 3. Row 4, we're going to turn. Chain 1, make a single crochet in the first stitch of the row, and then we're just going to make a single crochet in every stitch across. So you should have the same number of stitches in every row. And you're going to have a row of single crochet between every row of spiked V's. Okay. So it is easier to get your stitch placement after row 3. So if you hit row 3 on the head, everything is much easier from here on in. Okay. So single crochet in every stitch. So it's in every V and in every single crochet all the way across. Oops, dropped a loop then. Try that again. And last stitch of the row. Okay, so that's row 4, all single crochet, and now we turn. So row 5, we're going to do another row of spiked V's. Turn, chain 1, make a single crochet in the first stitch of the row. Put my stitch marker in there. And now we're going to make another set of spiked V's. And we're going to be working into that single crochet space. So that single crochet between your V's, oops, is where your hook is going to go. Right in there. And that's the same place for every V. So I'm going to push my hook in there, and if I turn it over, just want to make sure that your hook comes between those spike stitches. Okay, so I've got the 2 loops on that side, 2 loops on that side, and that's where my hook needs to come through. So bring up the loops to as high as the single crochet in the row below, and then make a single crochet in the next stitch, back into the same space, make another V. Just gonna, something didn't quite go right there. There we go. And make size of that loop. Right. Try this again. Come on, yarn. So keep that nice and tight because we don't want too many big loops. Push my hook through the same space, pull up that spike stitch, and finish. There we go. Much better. And so the V's sit together. Straight into the next V. So into the next one, push through that loop. I'm just checking the other side. All fine there. Pull up that spike, single crochet in the next stitch. And again, that single crochet lines up with the bottom of your V. And back into the same space to make another spike stitch. So they nestle nicely in between each other. And you carry that on all the way down the row. Straight into the next V, check the other side, it'll come through fine. Pull up the loop, single crochet in the next stitch, which lines up through the center of those V's. Make another spike in the same space. And then straight into the next spike in the next stitch. And you just carry it on all the way across the row. You just need to keep looking behind to make sure that you're not accidentally pushing your hook through the loops of your spike stitches. And continue all the way across the row until you get to the last stitch, and then make a single crochet to finish the row. And there's your V's. So to continue the spiked V stitch, you're going to be repeating rows 4 and 5. And there you have your stitch guide on how to crochet the spiked V stitch. I would love to see what you make with this pretty stitch. Please do come and show us over in our Facebook group, Froggity Frog to Ribbit and Stitch. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well for more crochet stitches, free crocheting patterns, and hints and tips for your crochet. And if there's a video you would like to see be made, whether it's a crochet stitch or a technique, please do let me know in the comments, and your video could be the next to be made. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time for the next video. Bye for now.